NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month. The first time I did it very much by the seat of my pants. And I don't just mean that in terms of what I was writing, I mean the whole process. And I'm gonna wind the clock back a little bit because back in 2008, I took a class in college about filmmaking and doing short films. I had an idea for a short film that involved superheroes and things that were happening with high school age superheroes, and I ended up putting it off because, well, it was a college class. We weren't going to be able to do something with superheroes, realistically. But the whole idea was that it would be like a pilot for a series. And I ended up working on that for a long time. A very long time. 2013 rolls around and I've still got this idea bouncing around in my head. And I'm in Ireland with my family. We're on a family vacation and I'm looking at my notebook and I'm just writing something about the characters. My mom looks at me and she's like, well, what are you working on? I said, well, it's this idea. And almost out of nowhere, it kind of slips out. I'm like, I've been thinking about it as a TV show or a comic book. It might be a novel. Now, not long after that, my dad reaches out to me and he says, there's something called National Novel Writing Month. People write a novel for the month of November. Now, my parents are very good at this. Whenever I say, hey, this is a thing I'm thinking about doing, they'll come back to me and they'll say, when? When are you going to do that thing? Not always pressing me, not always aggressive, but just follow-up questions. When? In my dad's case, he came to me and he said, hey, how about November? And I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, this was October, so I don't know. But come November, well, not November 1st or 2nd. If I recall right, I didn't end up writing anything on either of those days. But come November 3rd, I sit down to my computer and I start writing. Now, I already had an idea for what these superhero characters would be. And after about 2 paragraphs, those all changed. At the time, there were 2 main characters, and I thought that they would have certain superpowers. But as soon as I started writing, I changed one of their powers. Characters would be introduced. I'd realized partway through that they didn't work, so I'd cut them out. I'd stop using them. I would invent new heroes or new details about the world as I wrote. It was all very seat of your pants. And that's okay. That's part of what National Novel Writing Month is. Also, look, NaNoWriMo is in November. Thanksgiving's in November. Weird things happen in November. I did not finish during November. I kept writing into December because I'm still working on the book. I did not write for the second half of December. I didn't write in January. I didn't write in February. I didn't write in March. In May or June, I finally came back to the book, and I finished that book in June 2014. And fortunately, for me, for future me, I kept a record of which days I actually wrote. And it turns out it only took me like 30-something days to get up to 75, 80,000 words. That taught me a lot. It taught me that if I had actually buckled down, if I'd actually written every day that I said I was going to, if I had actually written as many words every day as I said I was going to, well, I wouldn't have finished the novel in November, but I would have finished it in December. That's what National Novel Writing Month is, and that's why I definitely think you should do it next year. I know, who can even think about 2021 right now? I certainly can't, except I am. I'm thinking a lot about 2021. And I know if you just did NaNoWriMo in 2020, I'm asking even more of you. You've just written something. You probably still are working on it or you're still thinking about it. It hasn't been that long since it happened. And now I'm asking you what you're gonna do next year for the same thing. That's not fair. That's not cool. But we're gonna start setting goals for 2021 together. Not just today, but in the next couple of weeks. Last week, I even talked about a goal for 2021. I'm gonna write every day and I'm gonna stream as much of them as I can. So we're working on our goals. And here's one for you, if you're interested. Because it's one for me too. We are gonna write 50,000 words in 2021 in the month of November alone. We're gonna do NaNoWriMo. We're gonna do it together, you and me. We're making a deal. This is a verbal agreement, and if you keep watching this video, you're agreeing to it. It's a binding contract. Because I think we need this. I think we need something to look forward to, and I think we need a lot of time leading up to it. I'm an outliner, so working that far in advance is actually really helpful for me. Me telling you now that I'm going to write 50,000 words in November, that means something to me. That means that I'm not going to use it for revising a book. I'm going to use it for drafting a book. The first draft of a book. A new book. In a couple weeks, I'm going to do a video about my goals for 2021, and that's going to be one of them. Because I have not successfully done NaNoWriMo since 2014. And also, I didn't succeed in 2014. Not technically. So 2021 is going to be the first year that I actually sit down and do NaNoWriMo, and I do it right. And I already know what book I'm going to write for it. We'll talk about that more in a couple weeks. In the meantime, what did you learn from NaNoWriMo this year? Or any other previous years you've done it? Let me know all that in the comments below. Please hit the like button if you liked this video, and if you don't, just hit the thumbs up button anyway. Who cares? I'm not gonna tell. You don't have, you can just lie. You can just lie about stuff. Hit the thumbs up. Please hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos and if you want the chance to win a free Audible book, because I am going to give away an Audible book to one of my subscribers if I can reach 100 subscribers by the end of the year. Also hit the bell because it's Christmas time and bells are for Christmas time. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, Victoria.